Hi everyone, I welcome you all to my YouTube channel. If you have not subscribed my channel yet, so please subscribe and like the video. So today I will be teaching you what is the actual difference between will and shall. So let's begin. So you can pause the video and read this. Will, the most basic and common form used to express the future is will. So we all know that will is basically used to express the future. The structure of will is easy because it is the same for all the subjects and don't need to change anything about the verb. So here uh, whenever you talk about verb, you don't need to change anything about the verb, like the subject will be singular or plural, and you can use will with any of the subject. This is what it's written over here, and we use will when we express the future. I hope that's clear. Let's move to the next part. So we'll understand some uh, uses for will. What are some uses and how do we use will in some different situations? Let's understand. So the first use of will, as we all know that it is used to describe the future. So here, whenever you describe a future, you use either of these sentences, like for example, we will be at the hotel until 8 p.m. Or you can say the trains will be late today because of the bad weather. You can just pause a video and write down one sentence to describe the future. Like if you want me to give you another sentence, it would be that tomorrow I will be meeting my best friend. I will be, because it's I'm describing the future. To describe the future, we use will, and this is the first use of will. I hope it's clear. So you can pause and write down the one example to describe the future in the comment box. Second use of will, to make the prediction. This is the second use of will. Whenever you make a prediction, like the world population will grow a lot in the next 50 years, who do you think will win the tournament? Or you can say that I think the next prime minister will be Narendra Modi. So here I am making a prediction. So whenever you make a prediction, you have to use will. Next is to make a request. Now again, if you are making a request, you have to use will in a question form, like will you bring some water for me, will you pass me that blue water bottle, etc. Okay, I want you to write down the some examples, either predicting a future or just making a request, and you have to write down in the comment box. So I hope will is clear. Now I will be starting with shall. Okay, now this is again used, shall is again used for the future, but we'll understand when do we use shall. In the past, shall was often used as an alternative of will. So in the past, it was used as an alternative of will, and can find many examples of shall in famous literary works. But in modern English, we usually prefer will for affirmative and negative sentences. Affirmative are basically positive sentences, but in modern English, it's trying to say that we used to use shall most of the time, but now in modern English, we prefer will and not shall. However, we still use shall to form the question with I and V. Now, whenever you whenever you form a question with I and V, if the subject is I and V, you have to use shall in that case, still now as well. We form sentence with shall in the same way as we do with will. So the same pattern you will follow whenever you make a question with will. The same pattern will be for shall, but the only difference is that you will use shall when you start with I and V, like when your subject is I and V. I hope it's clear. Okay, next one. The uses of shall. So the first use of shall is used to make offer, and the second use of shall is used to make suggestion. Now this is a difference, and you have to understand. For offer, you use shall with I and V subject. For example, shall I make some lunch? Shall we help you with your bags? Okay, this is an offer. Now whenever you want to make a suggestion, you have to use shall. Shall we go to the park? Shall we have something to eat, etc. And these are the uses of shall. Now I want you to write down two uses with offer and suggestion, one example of each with shall in the comment box. Okay, so let's move to the next part. Here it's trying to say that will and shall, these are modal verbs, and they are used with the base form of the main verb. They will go, I shall ask her, etc. Shall is only used for future time reference with ing. As I have already discussed that it is only be using with future time reference, that is ing, nothing else, and is more formal than will. Shall is more formal than will, but we consider most of the time we use will. Okay, but always remember that whenever you talk about, whenever you make a question with if a subject is ing, in that case you have to use shall. Alright, I hope it's clear. Otherwise there is no such big difference between shall and will. Next, shall is uncommon in modern English, but if you are not sure of the rules of shall, just use will. Even if you are not sure, and even if you use will, that is not a wrong sentence, always remember that. And shall is uncommon in modern English. In American or British English, shall is most common, but in modern English it is not that much common. Okay, so one more thing I would like to add up over here, that whenever you make a request, you have to use will, because if you use shall in request, it will be a wrong one. Okay, now for offer and suggestion we use shall. Only these two things you have to remember, otherwise will and shall, there is no such difference, and this video will definitely help you to overcome the difference. If you have this, if you have some fear that when do we use shall, when do we use will, so I think this video will help you in that journey. Okay, so if you like this video, please do subscribe and like my video, subscribe my YouTube channel, share the video as much as you can, and if you want to enroll for spoken English classes, just write down in the comment box for that. Thank you so much.